up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Bevin made some controversial comments about a Kentucky shooting. And a recent poll shows exactly how Kentuckians feel about Governor Bevin. Plus, we have more on a new initiative that launched yesterday to combat the hepatitis C epidemic in Kentucky.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Connor James. The time is 5:30 and happy Friday to you. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your bit of a soggy forecast today.
Yeah, unfortunately, especially this morning, Connor, but things should improve as we get deeper into the day. And tonight, clearing out and cooling down. Let's take a look at the cameras first this morning. Buffalo Mountain here in Perry County. Rain falling overnight, but no rain active right now here in Perry County. Same thing up on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain on US 119. You can see the road even drying out there a little bit at times, but back and forth for the last 6 hours. Waves of rain. Got another pretty good one coming across the I-75 corridor right now, and you can see a little better there on live pinpoint Doppler radar. So again, be careful this morning. Some patchy dense fog is possible and some wet roads as well. Temperatures will be right there in the upper 50s for most of the day. They'll climb a little bit as we head into the afternoon hours, but you see 58, 57 there for a while, and then we'll see those temperatures back into the low 60s at best as the chances for rain become more scattered this afternoon. I'll have the rest of the forecast in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. Well, Governor Bevin made some controversial comments yesterday afternoon, tying a shooting involving children to teacher sickouts earlier this year. The governor said a child, home alone, shot another child during one of the teacher protests in Frankfort. The shooting he's referring to was in Jefferson County back in March. An 11-year-old boy accidentally shot his 7-year-old sister. Here's what Governor Matt Bevin had to say at the event in Louisville yesterday.
One thing you didn't hear almost anything about is why we had people pretending to be sick when they weren't sick and leaving kids unattended to or in situations that they should not have been in. A little girl was shot, 7 years old, by another kid because they were somewhere that they weren't intended to be, and because the parent didn't have any option, put them into a situation so that they could go to work that left these kids in a compromised situation where they encountered a gun.
The governor made a similar comment last year, saying he guaranteed a child was sexually assaulted in Kentucky because of teacher sickouts then. And Governor Bevin's comments were a big focus at a debate between the Democratic candidates for the state's top office yesterday in Louisville. Taylor Durden has the reaction.
At a debate Thursday at the La Casita Center, Kentucky Democratic governor candidates condemned Governor Matt Bevin's comments about the 7-year-old girl who was shot.
I think Governor Bevin has no basis on which to come to that conclusion. I think he's just talking like a politician as usual.
But what's happened here isn't political, despite Governor Bevin's effort to make it so. The fact that a child was shot is a tragedy, and it just shows a governor who is badly out of touch with his state, and I'm afraid badly out of touch with reality. And I hope that the governor can have a moment of reflection and think about how far out of bounds he was with his comments.
Andy Beshear was not at the debate Thursday, but he responded on social media saying, quote, "Despicable. Matt Bevin is unfit to govern. Kentucky families, teachers, and kids deserve so much better than this governor," end quote. After the Rotary Club meeting, Governor Bevin criticized reporters for writing about his comments related to the shooting.
The only thing that you all are pumping out there is talking about this 7-year-old girl who was shot. Literally. And no, it's not all of you, but it's many of you. Really? That's pretty sad. This is why our state is struggling, is the fact that we're not focusing on things that are important.
And in a new poll, research company Morning Consult ranks Governor Bevin the most unpopular governor in the country. According to their poll, Governor Bevin has a 52% unfavorable rating. Charlie Baker, the governor from Massachusetts, is the most popular in the country with a 73% approval rating. And Governor Matt Bevin says a special session to deal with the pensions is, quote, coming up sooner than later. The governor says he doesn't want the session to compete with graduations and upcoming vacations. Yesterday, he told reporters his team has been working on a new version of a bill to give some universities, health departments, and quasi-government agencies relief from the rise in pension costs. He vetoed the original version of the bill earlier this month. And a new initiative launched yesterday to attack the hepatitis C epidemic in Kentucky. Biotechnical research company Gilead will be providing external resources catered specifically to one area of the country affected most by the opioid crisis, Appalachia.
Local change has to be facilitated by local stakeholders. So at our best, we want to create identify who those stakeholders are, people who are passionate and committed to this issue, and provide them support.
Gilead says hepatitis C rates increase as opioid usage rates do, usually as a result of IV drug use. And now it's the 32nd year the East Kentucky Leadership Conference continues to inspire the leaders of tomorrow. Part of that inspiration comes from honoring the people working to make the region a better place and making people proud to be from the mountains. WYMT's Justin Case went to the award showcase Thursday evening at the Benham Schoolhouse Inn, where a number of leaders were honored in 7 different categories.
The theme of the East Kentucky Leadership Conference this year is getting ahead of the curve, growing a 21st century economy. Leaders here say the goal is to make people proud to be from Eastern Kentucky.
I do take such pride in being from Eastern Kentucky, and I think that people need to see people like me that's living and staying and has sustained here.
Showing the accomplishments of the men and women here also serves as inspiration to the next generation of leaders.
And we got to make them feel the commitment and passion that we feel about Eastern Kentucky and the importance of knowing we got to thrive in spite of or because of. We can't make excuses.
Some of the people being honored build houses for the homeless, teach science, math, and technology to kids, and so much more. But all of those being honored have overcome great obstacles along the way.
We think that we are born with these mountains as geographical barriers, but truly it still is true, it's psychological barriers too that we have to overcome here in the mountains. So they'll get that from the leaders who's gone outside and returned.
While the accomplishments of some leaders can seem unattainable, Carolyn Sunday says anything is possible.
You might not be where you want to be right now, but in time you will.
Inspiring the next generation of leaders in the mountains.
Again, that was Justin Case reporting. Mark your calendar for Monday at 7 p.m. That's when we will be airing the full award showcase right here on WYMT. And one of yesterday's sessions at the conference focused on empowering women. The East Kentucky Women in Leadership session highlighted women leaders in the region. A group of young future leaders presented a group of middle school girls who are learning all about STEM-related work.
The girls learned about all different types of technology, from augmented and virtual reality to 3D printing and design, coding and electrical circuits, and how to pull all of that technology together to create an entrepreneurship project. So they're future leaders, and I think they're well prepared.
Those girls are from the Verizon Innovative Learning Girls Camp. Other morning sessions that day included the What's Next East Kentucky Leadership session. And 2 Letcher County inmates allegedly attempted to smuggle drugs, one choosing to stick the substance up his rectum. Jail officials say Curtis Anderson was caught on camera cupping a white substance in his hand while hiding behind a wall in the visitation room. He passed the bag to Corey Fraley, who jailer Bert Sloan says tried to stick what appears to be meth down the backside of his pants. They noticed a second bag thrown onto the floor. This prompted deputies to search the pair and try to recover as much as possible, an often unpleasant task.
These people are hooked on drugs, and they'll go to extreme lengths to hide those drugs.
Anderson and Fraley now face several additional drug charges and tampering with physical evidence. Jailer Sloan says the controlled substance appearing to be meth will be sent to a lab in the coming days. And the Martin County man is sick of the stench of sewage filling the air in his neighborhood. A frustrated Bill Murphy says the sewage line across the street from his home has broken 3 times since Sunday, pouring sewage into the Collins Creek area and Murphy's own front yard. The Martin County Martin County Water Department, says they fixed every reported break, but Murphy is tired of the break and repair cycle.
Yes, it should be a permanent fix. They should take the time and the resource to repair it one time instead of 3 or 4 times, which would cost more money, more manpower in the long run.
A cost Murphy claims the county can't afford due to other unspecified financial issues. Netflix watchers, listen up. Netflix watchers, listen up. Some hit sitcoms may be pulled from Netflix soon. We'll have more on why in just a few minutes.
While today will be soggy at times, the weekend forecast looks much better. I'll track the rain and tell you when it should stop in about 3 minutes.